Okay, we are back and about time too. After a very rough month long break, we finally got a new One Piece chapter. Hoping we don't have another hiatus like this soon. I mean, it's deserved. Like Oda, Oda much deserves the break and needs the break. So I fully support it. Like rationally, but the irrational side of my brain's like, I need a chapter every week or I'm going to die. So, um, yeah, and honestly, I have to say, I I'm a little disappointed for having a month long break. The art in this chapter was very rough. You could tell it wasn't very cleaned up and polished. So you know, if you're gonna take a month break, at least give us like a very clean chapter, And like I feel like I sound like such an asshole right now, so I'm gonna take back everything I just said. But yeah, honestly, I was a little disappointed. I think it's because this chapter, like if this chapter were in the normal succession of like weekly chapter releases, I don't think I'd have a problem with it at all. But I think the fact that we had a month long hiatus and then it comes back with this chapter, which was essentially a filler chapter, was a little frustrating. Stuff does happen. Stuff does happen. But it's mainly like I don't know how to describe these kind of like a movement chapter of just like characters moving further physically in on a path to a like path to a destination amidst battle. Like I feel like there were a lot of these filler chapters like this in Onigashima, and yeah, definitely getting that chaotic vibe again. So yeah, honestly, like there were hints at stuff that's been like bigger picture stuff that's going on. Like they hinted at something with Stussy, where I think she's going to stay behind and sacrifice herself or something. It was a little unclear. The chapter, like, there was some stuff in the chapter that was a little unclear, and I wasn't sure, like, if I can credit it to the translation because, obviously it's Friday, not Sunday, so this is a fan translation, not the official. I'd probably read this chapter again on Sunday, just with the official translation to get a cleaner interpretation of what's going on, because a lot of it was a little rough. Yeah, there's some mystery set up. What's going on with Mercury's armor. That Luffy seemed like the most powerful hockey. It hurt his hand and he couldn't pierce it. So something's going on there. Like maybe the Gorosei are designed like with a certain armor or material that combats against like even the most advanced forms of hockey, which would be interesting and a good foil to the hockey system in a way because I feel like the hockey system has kind of weakens the need for cool devil fruits. Like I feel like early in the series, the whole conceit of the battle system in this universe was that like, okay, like it's about using devil fruit abilities to your advantage. Like, okay, this ability can creatively combat X ability in what way? And it was sort of like a little puzzle game that Oda had to figure out with each matchup of characters that you both had devil fruits, of course. A lot of characters fight and don't have devil fruits. But when he introduced the hockey system, the kind of emphasis on those cool devil fruit like puzzles and matchups kind of like faded away for more just like who is better trained at their hockey that everyone can have. And it like kind of like switched the nature of the battle system in a way. And I feel like this might be a cool way of I might be reading way too much in this, but I feel like it might be a cool way of like circling back to those basics. Like, okay, this ability can't just be combated by brute force hockey. Like we need to figure out a cool, unique way to use a devil fruit here. And I hope they go that route. I don't know if they will for sure, but I feel like it's a cool thing that Oda's sort of leaking in. And yeah, I mean, obviously the cliffhanger is that one of the Gorosei is about to destroy the Denmushi that's apparently, um, you know, going to conveying Vegapunk's message. But I think it's a red herring. I think that York probably lied. She mentioned something along the lines of like I can't remember exactly what she said. It was almost like something like if I get too many bad credits or bad points or misbehaves across, they'll like do the whole Vegapunk Hive Mind Collective will do something to me that will punish me. So I think she probably lied to the Gorosei so she wouldn't get like fully ousted by the Vegapunk consciousness, you know, something along those lines. And maybe there's still a little like, because she is technically part of Vegapunk's consciousness, like there's still that inherent good that's deep within Vegapunk that's like sort of like piercing through her despite all of the shit she's done. So yeah, I think it's a red herring. I think it's going to be like, oh, he destroys the Den Mushi, and then, or it's either that or it's indestructible or something like that. Where like something, I think we're going to get this message. I don't think the Gorosei are going to stop it. Um, yeah, there was a really cool shot of like one of the Gorosei, the one that's like that creepy horse demon. He like um, claws his way up a cliff, and you see the claw first. And like what the everyone's like, what the fuck is that? And then he like climbs fully up, and it's like not at all what you're expecting. They're like, oh, what is that? Like a crab monster? And it comes up, and it's a completely different appearance of what they're expecting. It was like actually like a really cool shot. And you see like Bonnie and Frankie and like company just like standing there like, oh, like what the hell is this monstrosity in front of us? I thought that was the best panel in the chapter. Really cool work there. But yeah, you know, I could say like a little underwhelming, you know, overall. I'm excited to see what comes next. I'm like the at the outset of this chapter, I was like, I'm resting my arm because I still want to talk more. My arm's killing me from holding up my phone. So yeah, at the outset of this chapter, I was like, oh, are they like wrapping up Egghead this chapter? Like things like were they're about to get to the ship. They were like playing logistic. Like I'm like, oh, is it going to be like a chapter or two until we're out of here? Like, are they really doing it that quickly? Well, I say they, it's just Oda. Yeah, is Oda really doing it that quickly? But then I quickly realized now this is just like a setup chapter, and we're gonna be, yeah, I think we're gonna be in Egghead a little while longer. I'm getting a little bit of arc fatigue. Like I hate to say, because Egghead has been just so masterful, but like with chapters like these, you get arc fatigue. It's just inherent. It's like I loved most. I mean, until the end, the Onigashima kind of fell apart, but I loved most of Onigashima. But I still got arc fatigue in Onigashima. You know, like I thought, even when I thought it was like contender for best arc in the series, like I still got arc fatigue. So arc fatigue is just going to actually happen, and I feel like we're getting to the point as a fandom, as a collective, we're kind of just like, yeah, okay, let's get out of here. You know, like this isn't doable. You know, like the Straw Hats and Luffy are not going to be taken, you know, be able to defeat the Five Elders right now. Like maybe they'll get one, you know, like as like a sign, like, oh shit, they got a Five Elders, like shit just got serious. But I don't think they'll be able to get all of them now. I don't think it's in their, you know, like, I don't think it's in their wheelhouse right now. Like, I still, as powerful as they've become, I still think they need more to be able to defeat the Five Elders. And they were hinting at with their armor situation. Like, I don't think Luffy can effectively beat Mercury if that's what, even if that's what they're like sort of setting up. Like, I don't think it's necessarily possible right now. Maybe he'll find an exploit or a loophole or a cool, unique Devil Fruit ability that could like sort of like combat it. But I feel like I hope at least what they're setting up is that like, okay, like this is the introduction of what the nature of the Gorosei truly is, and then later down the line, like we'll actually have a way to fight them. Maybe it's even after Laugh Tale, like maybe it's even after the assembly of the ancient weapons. They'll have some sort of like ability here, but to combat this. But right now it just seems too overwhelming. Like even with the giants too, like I don't think it's doable. So I think I think best odds are for them is that they just get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible. And I know Luffy's like doing his shit and trying to fight them, but like he needs to get out of there. You know, I'm very concerned for my Straw Hat Boy characters. You know, I'm very concerned for them. I need them to get out of there safely. You know, yeah. So I still think Egghead can't end without a Kuma death, like a real final act from Kuma. I think it would be really. I mean, Oda can kind of do it. Oda can work it, you know, like and make it work. But like, I think it would be really shitty if like Kuma just stays on and is healthy, like recovers and just kind of like tags along for like the rest of the story. Because I think like Bonnie's probably going to tag along the rest of the story. If she's not officially joining the crew, I feel like she'll be like a very long term recurring tag along for like Carrot was, for example. And I think that's probably why. I think I've talked about this before, but I think that's probably why Oda decided to cut Yamato from joining the Straw Hats, because I think up until the very last minute, up until he took that 3 month break toward the end of Wano, I was it 3 months or it was, I think it was, but yeah, like I think that Oda was fully planning to incorporate Yamato into the crew, but I think he realized that he didn't have enough matchups for everyone and didn't have enough screen time to give everyone in the Straw Hats the justice they deserved. And like, if Bonnie is joining, which I think she might, then I think that, like, he probably realized, like, he doesn't have enough time in the story and space economy in the chapters to give everyone the space that they need, and he probably said, okay, Yamato's cuttable from the crew, as much as I wanted to add him. And that's the vibe I get. It's just completely my interpretation, but I love that we're getting this Yamato cover story, and I'm very interested to see where it goes, because Yamato is making some sort of pilgrimage to some sort of shrine in Wano. I'm interesting to see if they find something out about, like, ancient weapon or something like that, because I think that's, like, it has to, at this point in the story, the cover stories have to be, like, leading somewhere. Like, obviously we got the Blackbeard pirates taking pudding and stuff like that, so like they got to be going somewhere. So I hope that, like, what Oda decides to do with Yamato now is important for the narrative as well, instead of just, like, a filler cover story. But anyway, I talked a lot longer than I thought I would about this chapter. This is probably, like, my longest One Piece chapter reaction yet, and I thought it was going to be the shortest. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this chapter. I'm very much more excited for next week. I think this was, like, a pretty rough chapter, to be completely honest, and a rough chapter in One Piece is still eons better than, like, a significant portion of Shonen series. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.